Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox. A little bit ago, we talked about an original Xbox exclusive tennis game called Top Spin, which I enjoyed. It was a tennis game that garnered praise for its RPG-like career mode and solid controls. Yet the series would go on from there and move to the 360 with Top Spin 2. Let's see if the sequel to this Xbox sports classic keeps the staying power of the original. Today I'm going to give you its history, lasting impact, and tell you how I felt about the game. All footage was captured off of an Xbox 360, and I'd like to thank my YouTube channel members for their support. But let's go ahead and hop on into the history of this game. Starting after the release of Top Spin in 2003, and if you want more history on that game, check out that video, it was a critical hit for the development companies PAM and IndieBuilt. It was an important part of the XSN brand of sports games, which filled the void when EA Sports did not support Xbox Live. Yet when EA hopped on, Microsoft disbanded XSN, leaving the Top Spin brand in limbo. IndieBuilt was sold to Take-Two Interactive, who wanted to keep the team's Amped and Top Spin franchises alive. Take-Two created the publishing brand 2K at this time to publish all of its sports titles and a few other things as well. Top Spin 2 was announced at E3 2005, and there was not much fanfare at major publications, especially since the demo ran at 30 frames per second and didn't use the 360 to its fullest potential, according to IGN. It was initially meant to be a launch title for the 360, but during that time, Take-Two was having financial issues, setting up a bad omen before launch. Unlike the IndieBuilt launch title, Amped 3, Top Spin 2 was pushed out to April 2006. It would actually be released earlier than that here in North America, releasing on March 29, 2006. It would also see a Game Boy Advance and DS release. It was released in April in Europe and Australia, and we would later see versions on PC and mobile. I had never played this entry before, but I do enjoy the original, so I was excited to see how they followed it up. I played through it recently, and let me tell you how it went, starting with the gameplay. Top Spin 2 is what you would expect from a tennis game purely in terms of gameplay. You have tennis players on either side of the court, and you hit a ball back and forth, scoring on the opponent. You serve with a simple serve system and can hit back with multiple different types of hits. The main one I used was the A button, which guarantees a hit that won't go out of bounds, but is easier for the opponent to hit. All the other face buttons will give you different types of hits like slices and lobs that need to be aimed with the control stick while hitting it so it won't go out of bounds. It's a simple system to learn and feels good. It takes the same gameplay of the original and transplants it into the sequel. It makes for a simple pick up and play style that can become more technical with more dedication. Aiming your racket and hitting all work perfectly well, making it fun to play. The control scheme feels right and fluid if you're a tennis fan. Hitting rallies and getting points feels perfect and intense when you play on the harder difficulties. As far as the tennis gameplay goes, there's nothing fundamentally wrong, and it's all around well done and fun. In this game, you have multiple game modes to tackle. You have an exhibition and tournament mode where you do your standard matches, online matches, party games, and career mode. The bulk of gameplay for me was spent in career mode, similar to the original. Here you build up a character from the bottom of the rankings at 100 and climb your way to number 1. Making your own character continues to be a joy, and the customization here rocks. If I get to create some type of monstrosity, I'm extremely happy while playing it. The amount of detail and different types of clothing help make this game feel unique, and it adds a personal touch that helps give the game personality. The same stat-building RPG style is here, and it continues to be awesome. Here you hire a coach, and each one will level up stats in a bunch of categories like serves, speed, and backhand to name a few. You earn points towards a stat by playing minigames, and these are the best parts of the game. There are neat ones like hitting bowling balls so they knock over pins, you could bust down walls with your tennis ball, or just hit specific points on the field. These little modes were addicting as well as rewarding. It spices up the monotony of tennis match after tennis match. You can even play these modes in multiplayer locally, making for a great party game. I also think it's a nice touch that you can't fully level yourself up, and you have to be selective of where you put your stat points, making sure that you don't create a character that is perfect and you have someone with strengths and weaknesses. If I could lob a criticism at this game, the career menus are a bit bland. It's a simple shuffle between tournaments and training, there's not much pizzazz going on, and the presentation overall is a bit weak regarding selections. Compared to Top Spin 1, which has you traveling across the globe selecting stadiums, coaches, and you get this nice selection of interesting music, that is how you make menus and career modes exciting and a complete package. Here it just feels bland and just feels structured in a way that's not interesting, and I'd say even without comparison, it does feel like it has a lack of something. Yet this is a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things because this game plays exceptionally well once you get into matches. In career mode, you can feel the difficulty spike when you have a character with low stats facing off against a stronger opponent. You feel a gradual progression as you get stronger, which feels awesome. It leads to some extremely long matches, but this makes the game much more satisfying when you win. The core gameplay is strong, and mix that with fun stat building, and you have an entertaining core. This game also comes with online multiplayer, which you still can use to this day. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to play with anyone online, but if it plays much like the single player, then I can understand it being really fun. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if you have any online memories with this game. I would love to hear from you. Top Spin 2 continues to be a solid playing tennis game as the series transitioned onto the 360. Top Spin 2 is an early 360 game from the 360's first year of life, which had some strong showings on the console visually. This game is another one to add to that list because I think it looks great for the time. When character models aren't horrible player creations, they look solid with a nice high-definition look. All the movements are smooth and look great when playing on the court. Anytime they're angry or happy, it shows through and gives the game a nice personality. It aligns with the great character customization and solid clothing selection to put on your character. The background characters, though, don't nearly have the same amount of detail, which is expected in a sports game, but these people are downright rough looking. The background characters did not get much love, and it makes the stadiums and tennis courts not feel full. The actual design of the courts is excellent though, with some fun locales. I do like the grand stadiums, but I really love the local courts. These give off a great sense of space and location, with lovely details littered throughout them. Mix in some excellent shadow work in the game, and you have a tennis game with great places to face off in. This is a great trait to have, since tennis courts generally feel the same. As mentioned before, I do wish the career mode outside of the courses and training had more flair, and didn't get so simplified. But unfortunately, that was the trend in gaming at the time. Other than that though, this game has a strong visual appeal. The audio in Top Spin 2 is solid. It has all of the effects you would expect from a game like this. The bouncing of the balls on the ground and the hits from the tennis rackets, the squeaking of the shoes on the court, it's all there. And it all makes sure that the game feels accurate, and it also provides excellent hit feedback. It's details that generally go unnoticed and fade into the background, which isn't bad. It's meant to feel comfortable and correct in the setting. Also get used to hearing grunts and screams from hits, because those are all over this game too. But they should be, it's accurate to tennis. As for music though, I would say it's just okay. It's generic, cheesy rock and elevator style music. It has its cute moments, but it's nothing worth sticking around with. It feels a bit like royalty-free music in a way, and of course, I wish the music had a more substantial presence. Other than that though, the audio is solid. Top Spin 2 is a solid tennis game for the Xbox 360. It plays well, and when you get into the training and party game modes, it has enough flair to keep it from being a plain and straightforward tennis game. When you get into the matches, they can be long but rewarding. The visuals other than the background characters look solid, and the audio other than the music is done well. It has some issues, but it still manages to be an enjoyable experience. I don't think it's as strong as the original though, and lacks the flair of that game's career mode. Even then, you could have a good time here if you need a solid tennis game on the 360. On my ranking list, this one goes in on the lower end, but that's just because I haven't covered a lot of bad 360 games yet. If I had reviewed more bad games on the 360, I would say this is more of a mid-range title. It goes in at 16 out of the 21 games I've covered. I put it above Jericho because it's a much cleaner and put-together package with much more substantial replay value. Yet Crackdown goes above this one because Crackdown has a much stronger sense of creativity and uniqueness. Ranking the Top Spin entries, I'd put the original above this one because it has much more creativity, and how things are put together in the menus and the visual identity is just better than Top Spin 2, which feels a little bland. Upon its release, Top Spin 2 received favorable reviews according to Metacritic with a 75 out of 100. You'll find many positive reviews and some average ones, but no one was really negative about it. IGN gave it a 7.8 out of 10, saying it was fun primarily online, but the load times and menus were weak. GameSpot gave it a higher 8.2 out of 10, loving the gameplay and customization, but disliked the camera angles. Official Xbox Magazine, in their May 2006 issue, gave it an 8 out of 10. They commented that the balancing and career mode were better, but really didn't like that there wasn't a 4-player doubles mode here. With solid reviews, the game went on to sell well and even got a Platinum Hits release. However, this was not as good as publisher Take-Two had hoped. Blaming a harsh generational transition, they shuttered IndieBuilt 2 months after this game's release, leaving Top Spin as the last title from IndieBuilt, leaving behind a legacy of some classics like the Amped and Lynx series. Most of the team would go on working with golf simulators and also Big Finish Games, which worked on the Tex Murphy series. However, it's still sad to see this studio go because they made some of the most interesting sports releases in the 6th generation. Nowadays, this game is remembered positively with a rating of 3.2 out of 5 on the user aggregate website Backlogged, with over 100 players. The reviews are all positive with some good memories. Enough was there so when a new one was announced very recently, there was a little hype from fans of the series, but that's a story for another time. That does wrap it up for today though. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment below with any memories you have of Top Spin 2 or the Top Spin franchise in general, subscribe to keep up with the retro Xbox content, and I want to give a huge shout out to my YouTube channel members. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you here next time at Camp Xbox.